Hello folks, I'm currently in Southern California, San Fernando Valley. It's August and I wanted to share some of my ficus trade secrets. So here are a couple of my ficus hybrids. This is ficus omnifolia crossed with carica. It's one of the seedlings, and here you can see a very different looking seedling. So my plan is to graft these onto much larger carica rootstocks. Then this should help the scions mature faster, and also we get to test their compatibility with carica, because this will be very useful to know to see if these can function as good rootstocks for carica in RKN root knot nematode soil. And so another the ficus trade secret is I'm going to take the tops off of these and put them in Ziploc bags to kind of facilitate their rooting and growth, which might not be necessary for these, but it definitely helps. And then in these pots I've already got some durian seeds, cherry of the Rio Grande seeds, my favorite bulb seed, and ficus opposita crossed with carica, which was mostly variegated, so hopefully some of the seedlings will be variegated. Okay, so I'm gonna get started and then show you where I'm at. Okay, I'm back. So you can see I cut the carica rootstocks and I put the cuttings in these 5-gallon pots along with some seedlings that really needed to be potted up. Ficus septica, ficus omnifolia, and probably some ficus exasperata. I leave the tops of the little water bottles just to prevent some of any smaller seedlings from getting washed away. And so the logic here is if the cuttings don't root well, the seedlings should be able to make good use of that space, those limited resources. Space is very limited resources here, and if the cuttings do root, well, then just gonna have to separate them. Yeah. Okay. So next step is to take the tops off of these Umcar hybrids and put them in the bags. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was kind of painful to chop such nice seedlings, but the #1 plant rule is don't keep all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, I removed the tops and I put them in the bags, and I only removed the lower leaves that would be in the medium. The logic here is you leave most of the leaves intact, and they're going to provide a lot of energy to for the rooting. And it's possible to do this because in the bags it's 100% humidity, so you don't have to worry about the moisture loss from the big leaves desiccating the stems. Okay, so then the next step is to get some scions from these and graft them onto these rootstocks. And I think I'm gonna try to go for one of each on each rootstock. That's the plan. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. That wasn't easy to simultaneously put on 2 scions. Hopefully I lined them good enough. And for ficus, if they're compatible, usually they're pretty forgiving in terms of the quality of a graft. As long as there's at least a little bit of alignment of the cambium, then they should establish. Hopefully. Okay, so now on to the next one. Be right back. Okay, and I'm done. So so now each Carica rootstock has 2 Omkar seedlings grafted onto them. And for me, the most important after grafting maintenance is to watch out for the rootstock, because it will really want to grow. I gave it some fertilizer, topped off the soil, and it's still going to be pretty warm. So the rootstock's is going to want to push out a bunch of buds. And as soon as I see a bud even just starting to form, I'll remove it. Otherwise, the rootstock would rather just grow its own buds rather than allocate the energy towards repairing the damage and sending energy to the scions for them to grow. So you really got to limit the rootstock's options in terms of growth. But typically, if the scions are pretty compatible, then once they're established, then the rootstock will focus more on their growth rather than in its own growth. And for the seedlings, the Omkar seedlings, this one, it's a little nervous when all that's left is just one sad yellow leaf. But I'm pretty sure it'll start regrowing from its buds. Pretty sure, hopefully. This one is it's much more guaranteed that it's gonna be fine because it's got these 2 little stems, so they're gonna grow out. They're gonna grow out nicely. And what else? For anyone interested, this is my little grafting tools and things. Just use a X-Acto knife with replaceable blade, and just use this cheap grafting tape, and that's it basically. And what else? So if you have any questions, please comment. Try to answer them to the best of my ability. And if you haven't already done so, please check out my website, junglegroves.com. That's junglegroves.com. You can see on the home page there's a donation survey where you can help me prioritize what to plant on my 10-acre orange grove in Central Florida, Sebring. It's a good question. What should we grow? What should we propagate? And so you can use donations to elevate the most valuable answers. Currently, the top answer is Yangmi, and yeah, might as well show you. You want to see a Yangmi seedling? Okay, hold on. Okay, so now I'm indoors and opening this seedling bag. As you can see right here, this bigger seedling with the more serrated leaves is a Yangmi seedling. I grew it from seed from Yangmi fruit from Wii, and it was the first time trying Yangmi, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was kind of better than pretty much any blackberry I had ever tasted. It's not a blackberry, but just for comparison's sake. So I sowed seeds, and this one germinated, I think, I don't know, a few weeks, 4, maybe a month later. I'm not exactly sure. But I sowed the seeds with this is ficus. It's one of my ficus hybrids. It's ficus sycamorus crossed with Johannes and Carica silver lyre. So so far I haven't seen the dieback that I saw with the Racemosa Carica hybrid seedlings, but they are growing slow. but so far pretty happy that they're hanging in there. But anyways, back to Jungle Grove. So I didn't, buy the fruit or sow the seeds just because Yang Mei's at the top of the page, but obviously, it's not like I can unknow that it's at the top of the page and it's the #1 priority of people who've donated to my project. But that's basically the general concept: is donate and put your priority plant on the page, and then we'll all know your priority plants, and that should help us make better informed propagation and planting decisions. That's the theory, at least. That's worth experimenting with. Okay, so you're all having a good day, and let me know if you have any questions.